Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up, 3,000 U.S. troops are being deployed as tensions between Ukraine and Russia escalate.
Also, Lincoln Public Schools held a job fair today to try to fill several positions.
But first tonight, the controversial topic of sexual education standards for our kids. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. The State Board of Education has been looking at expanding those standards for about a year.
There has been some support, but there's also been some opposition. And today, the board voted on whether to scrap the idea. Channel 8's Ariana Martinez tells us what the board finally decided to do.
Motion to permanently reject the State Department of Education from drafting health education standards, including sex education, gender identity, and sexual orientation, failed with a 7-1 vote. So for now, it's still on the table. But before the vote, many voiced their opinions today that the board should focus on reading, writing, math, and social studies only.
I did the best that I could and still trying to do the best that I can. And I'm tired of having to come up here and talk to you all about what y'all doing in these school systems. These children do not belong to the Nebraska Department of Education. They belong to the parents. And if they need help, we should be the ones giving them that help.
Jason Martinez, another parent who's against the proposed sex education standards, says there's already too much sexualization in our schools. He read a passage from a book he checked out at his local school library. The passage used vulgar and sexual explicit language that we can't even say on TV. Many who spoke were upset that the committee cut public comment by 20 minutes.
2 hours was just the baseline, and you would increase our time if there were more speakers. Shame on you. 20 minutes? 20 minutes. You can't give us 20 minutes. Shame on you. You're all liars, except for Kirk Penner. God bless him, and thank you, Governor Ricketts, for appointing him.
One speaker expressed that she knows a teacher who would rather quit her job than teach the proposed standards. Some say these types of decisions are driving away teachers, adding to the shortage.
There are 500 employees in the Department of Education. I would challenge you to get them out of their office a little bit, maybe one day a week, and get their boots on the ground in the classrooms of the schools that are struggling to find substitutes and coverage. Let your staff members go to the Lincoln, Omaha, Wahoo area schools who have been forced to close due to staffing issues and help cover these classrooms.
And while no one at the hearing spoke in favor of the standards, board member Deborah Neary says there is support. Reporting in Lincoln, Ariana Martinez, Channel 8 News.
So just to recap, right now the standards will remain on the table for discussion. Staying on this topic here, the State Ed Board did talk about teacher shortages today.
And how to keep them in Nebraska. One idea is to use $1 million from federal funding for teacher recruitment and retaining. Committee member Jacqueline Morrison felt that was just not enough.
Teachers around the state are struggling. They are having a hard time in the classroom. We need to show a sign of supporting our teachers. And if we can't find anything in this allocation to reallocate to show that we are supporting teachers, that to me sends the wrong signal.
The committee voted to move forward with the budget, but plans to make changes to it in March. That money comes from $18 million that was left over after the board came up with its budget. And Lincoln Public Schools holding a job fair today to attract new hires.
The fair was for support positions across the district. LPS is looking to fill a variety of different positions such as paraeducators, substitute health technicians, food service workers, and custodians. They explained why fairs like this one are important for them to reach their hiring goals.
This is just a super important way that we can efficiently work to fill some of our spots. So it gives us the opportunity just to meet with a lot of different applicants for many different positions. We have nearly 100 spots to fill, so there's lots of opportunities. We'd love to kind of process things quickly and get people into positions in the next couple of weeks.
Now, if you missed the job fair today but still want to apply for a position, you can do so at lps.org. This week, the COVID-19 risk dial remained in the red category for the 5th consecutive week for Lancaster County.
The mayor said the good news, cases have dropped nearly 40% in the last 2 weeks, but hospitalizations are still too high.
Hospitalizations are at an all-time high with COVID patients, so we still have our frontline healthcare workers working so hard, and one of the ways we can help them, how we can help teachers keep their classrooms open, and to protect our businesses, our local economy, and each other, is to continue to wear masks for the time being till we're out of the woods, and to also limit some of our trips around the community just till we can get our cases even further down, get out of the red, because that is so important to stopping the spread of Omicron and taking charge and putting that pandemic in the rearview mirror.
2 new deaths were also reported yesterday, a man in his 30s and a woman in her 70s. Both were unvaccinated. Combining Wednesday and Thursday, there were nearly 700 new cases in Lancaster County. There are vaccination clinics Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We have that information on our website, klkntv.com. Today, infectious disease experts at CHI Health spoke about how the immunocompromised can keep themselves safe from COVID.
3 shots are not enough for some to protect themselves. Those who may have compromised immune systems will need a total of 4 shots to keep themselves safe from the Omicron variant.
If your immune system is weak, it can be due to cancer, chemotherapy, you're on other medications that make your immune system weaker. If you have an organ transplant, if you have other disease process that makes your immune system weaker, CDC recommends that you have 4 doses. First 3 doses are your primary series, and your 4th dose is your booster shot.
And doctors say there are other treatments, including monoclonal antibody treatments, but there is not enough to treat everyone. With all the ways people try to keep coyote numbers down, it seems like a losing battle at times.
But as Channel 8 reporter Nathan Grieve tells us, it's not a hopeless situation.
Coyotes are pretty adept at surviving against all odds.
You put more pressure on harvesting them out of a situation, they will. Research shows they do increase reproduction and immigration back into those areas.
In-town hunting isn't an option to begin with, and it just so happens that urban settings make a great habitat for coyotes.
Because they're very opportunistic, so they got a lot of food sources. Could be anything from trash to garbage to bird feed, bird seed, fruits.
So we're stuck together, which then creates another problem.
They won't be as scared of you in an urban setting because they're used to seeing people.
So if you encounter a coyote that's a bit more bold than most, be ready to act.
Holler, make yourself big. Coyotes are not protected, so you can haze them by any means, throw stuff at them. I always say a great thing is they got these little small air horns. It's a good fright device. Pepper spray, bear spray, any of that can be used. Spray them with the garden hose if you can get that close.
Sometimes you just have to put the fear of people back in them. Just do it safely. Reporting in Lincoln, Nathan Grieve, Channel 8 News.
And coyotes aren't the only wild animals that we're seeing more of in Nebraska. Ponca Public Schools shared this photo of a mountain lion that was caught in northeast Nebraska recently.
A game warden showed the big cat off to kids, which you can see. They were excited to get an up-close look. Officials say the mountain lion was accidentally trapped near the town of Maskell in Dixon County. And here's a nice update on another animal story.
The male African elephant calf that was born at Omaha's Henry Doorly Zoo on January 30th now has a name. Meet Sunny. Sunny received his name from a donor who won the naming rights at the zoo's fundraiser Zoofari 2021. There are now a total of 8 elephants in the herd, including the 2 newest babies.
All right, that is cute. Let's get a check of your Friday night first forecast and get ready for some warmer temperatures, right, John?
That's right. We are definitely going to be warming things up as we start the weekend out. Second half of the weekend maybe just a touch cooler, but still not looking too bad. This afternoon we saw temperatures topping out into the 30s around here, so it was actually not a bad day, especially compared to yesterday. A live look outside right now from Honda of Lincoln showing you we've got clear, or actually this is from Southeast Community College. We've got clear skies overhead, which has been a nice day to see some sunshine out there. You can see temperatures are running 10 to upwards of almost 16, 17 degrees above what they were 24 hours ago, meaning it's 29 in Lincoln, it's 31 in Beatrice, and 36 degrees in Kearney. We did make it up to 32 degrees this afternoon, and in the capital city. Just a little wind out of the north-northeast, and that's causing wind chill values to drop down into the teens in Columbus as well as Lincoln and Wahoo. Not as much of a wind chill value as you head out towards the Tri-Cities. For the rest of this evening, clear skies, 24 by 6, 18 degrees by 8, 14 by 10. It is going to be a chilly night tonight, but again, we are going to see some warmer temperatures coming our way tomorrow. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll talk about just how warm it gets. Also, something you may be able to see in the skies flying over southeast Nebraska this evening. All the details on that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, John. World news now. Some of the 3,000 U.S. troops recently deployed by President Biden are landing in Poland today as tensions continue to grow between Russia and Ukraine.
Their arrival comes as the White House is alleging Russia planned to create a propaganda video depicting a fake attack against its own country. ABC's M. Nguyen is in Washington with the latest.
The first of 3,000 U.S. service members landing in Europe today, with about 1,700 paratroopers from the 82nd Airborne arriving in Poland between today and tomorrow. The deployment is a show of support to NATO, as tens of thousands of Russian troops are currently based near Ukraine's border. The White House again warning of an alleged Russian strategy to stage a fake attack by Ukraine using video that would include actors playing wounded people and cadavers to portray those killed in the phony assault. The plot would be an effort to justify a Russian invasion of Ukraine.
We've seen them run false flag operations in the past and used confusion to launch military action many times in history.
The U.S. has yet to provide evidence of the alleged plot, with Russia's foreign minister calling the U.S.'s allegations absurd. Meanwhile, Ukraine's foreign minister downplaying the threat from Russia, saying he believes, quote, Russia lost this round. Secretary of State Antony Blinken met with his Polish counterpart in D.C. to discuss concerns for European security, underlining their solidarity over Russia's aggression.
Strongly prefer that Russia choose the path of diplomacy and dialogue, but if it does not, we are fully prepared for the alternative.
This comes while Russian President Vladimir Putin is in Beijing, meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping as the Olympics get underway. The two nations releasing a statement declaring themselves both, quote, against the further enlargement of NATO.
Psaki also confirmed the White House is still working closely with a bipartisan group of senators to develop what she called a devastating sanctions bill against Russia should they invade Ukraine. M. Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
Still to come on the news tonight, the Northeast is bracing for another round of severe winter weather.
That story and your full local forecast after the break.
For most of the people that walk in our store, it's been an ongoing, non-stop issue, and they're finally
A massive winter storm now heading to the northeast after wreaking havoc in other parts of the country.
More than 300,000 outages reported across several states, with ice, snow, and heavy rain pummeling areas for hours. Here's ABC's Rena Roy.
The Northeast is bracing for another round of severe winter weather, on top of all the snow and ice already impacting some areas.
I mean, it's shattered, but all the little glass flew on me, was all over me.
Maureen Reagan of Massachusetts urging drivers to clean their cars and trucks as this next storm moves in, after a chunk of icy snow from a box truck crushed her windshield on the highway.
Every time the car moved, it felt like the windshield was going to break in even more.
Parts of the Midwest and South hammered with rain, ice, and snow, frozen power lines and ice-covered trees toppling to the ground in Tennessee, where more than 134,000 customers reported power outages. In Memphis, cell phone video shows the aftermath of a major 16-car pileup. In Texas, thousands losing electricity. As the area prepares for more sub-freezing temperatures, officials keeping a close eye on the state's power grid, which was crippled by a deep freeze less than a year ago.
Most of the state will continue to experience sub-freezing temperatures for a few more nights. The power grid continues to perform well at peak demand during this winter storm.
This woman stuck in her car for more than 13 hours after a series of accidents on a highway in Kerrville.
Nothing's moved. I'm only a mile away from my exit, and we haven't inched one bit. So it was pretty cold last night. I had plenty of food and water to get me through the night.
The storm system has stretched more than 2,000 miles, not only affecting road travel, but also thousands of flights. Just about every major airport in the Northeast is affected, including Boston, Newark, LaGuardia, and JFK. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist John Dissauer.
And it's that winter storm that has moved through the country that's produced a lot of snow for a large portion of the country. Look at this. Over 50% of the lower 48 has snow on it right now. Notice the areas that do not. Well, South Dakota and eastern Nebraska, not with a lot of snow on the ground. In fact, no snow on the ground at all. But take a look at some of these high-end snowfall totals from the last 2 days. Down in New Mexico, they picked up 37 inches of snow. Now, it's a ski valley, so you'd expect there to be some snow there, but still, nearly over 3 feet of snow. Colorado Springs picked up 22 inches of snow. Leaders Ford in northern Indiana, 17 inches. Danville, Illinois, on the eastern side of the state, picking up 15 inches of snow, and Adamsboro, Indiana, at 15 inches. So some pretty heavy snow is falling. Now, not a whole lot of snow in those areas that had the higher totals, but they're still getting snow up across Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, and now there are concerns of freezing rain, which would be ice, across portions of Connecticut, Massachusetts, as well as into Rhode Island. Nothing like that around here. We've had clear skies throughout the day. Temperatures were able to get back up into the low 30s this afternoon. Now, for the rest of this evening, we will see the clear skies around, and that's going to help quite a bit. This is a live view from Honda of Lincoln, and you can see we've got the clear skies out there. And that's going to make it easy this evening to see the International Space Station once again. Second night in a row. This one is a rare 7-minute viewing opportunity. So grab the kids, head outside and look up. This one is actually in exactly 1 hour at 6:17, visible for 7 minutes. We'll start in the northwest sky and then exit off to the east-southeast. If you forget this information, I've got it posted on both my Facebook page and my Twitter account. Temperature-wise, we're sitting in the 20s to low 30s and even mid-30s out towards Hebron as well as towards Hastings, and 36 degrees in Kearney. A little wind out there is giving us wind chill values down into the teens, so it feels like it's 19 in Lincoln, 14 in Wahoo, and 14 degrees is what it feels like in Columbus. Air temperatures tonight, or more so tomorrow morning, will drop down into the single digits up towards Columbus, but otherwise double digits from Lincoln back out to the west. In fact, only dropping down to 17 degrees in Kearney. Through the day tomorrow, we're going to see a fair amount of sunshine. We'll call it mainly sunny skies tomorrow, and it will be once again warmer. By noon, we'll be up near 40 degrees. As we head towards the afternoon, I think temperatures make it up into the low 50s and even mid-50s. I think we could reach 51 degrees in Lincoln, 51 in Beatrice, up to 54 in Hebron, as well as Hastings, Grand Island, and Kearney. Winds will be out of the southwest at 8 to 16 miles per hour, with some occasional gusts to 25 miles per hour. Now, the second half of the weekend, we're going to see a cold front come through Saturday night, Sunday morning. That will drop our temperatures just a little bit, but we'll still be above normal, a high of 41 degrees. Look at Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday afternoon, it turns warm. It may be a little breezy out there. 58 in Lincoln. Some areas I think will hit 60 degrees Tuesday afternoon. Then as another front passes through, we'll cool off a little for Wednesday. And then we'll start warming things back up again by Thursday. And then by the end of the week, it turns a little windy with high temperatures into the upper 40s on Friday. And next weekend, we'll see temperatures into the 40s. And right now for Valentine's Day, it looks like temperatures could rebound back into the upper 50s.
You know, you were talking about Valentine's Day. Today we are wearing red for a good reason. It's National Wear Red Day.
Yes, it's to raise awareness for heart disease, heart health in men and especially women.
That's right. So proud to do it. All right, and coming up next, we have your numbers from Wall Street.
It was a split day today. The Dow falling 21 points, but the NASDAQ was up 219. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's trusted news source. Perfect.
Tonight, the massive winter storm from Texas to Maine, and now brutal cold on the way. Plus, are we finally turning the corner in the Omicron surge? More Americans turn to world news tonight with David Muir, the most watched newscast on all of television.
Are you struggling with your weight? Dr. Rick Vermilia at Heartland Weight Loss has 18 years of experience in the practice of bariatric surgery. He is also board certified in obesity medicine. Let Dr. Vermilia and his team at Heartland Weight Loss help you with medical or surgical weight loss solutions.
So if you or someone you love is struggling with obesity, pick up the phone, call us today, or go to our website. You'll be very glad you did.
When your home feels clean and happy,
the people inside feel clean and happy too.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point. Any first item removed, just $49.
If your sewer line backs up, that's when you need to have it jetted out, or you can jet it every year, 2 years to thoroughly clean it to prevent backups from happening. For more information, call John Henry's at 435-5555.
Window replacement is a significant investment in your home, and Renewal by Andersen
Precious moments tick away as a Colorado deputy rushes to break into a burning vehicle where a dog is trapped inside.
Here's tonight's Take a Look at This.
A deputy's body cam shows the frantic rush to save a dog trapped inside a burning SUV in Colorado.
Dog in the car.
You can hear the panic in the owner's voice as Deputy Michael Gregoric began busting the vehicle's windows looking for the animal. Amid the plumes of smoke, the dog is finally spotted, visibly distressed. After a moment of struggling to grip the large dog, Gregoric is able to pull the pet from the truck as the smoke overtakes him. The dog was okay, a nearby veterinarian said, and seemed very grateful, thanking his rescuer with some slobbery kisses.
My only child is my dog, so I would have done the same thing.
How do you know when the country has really been hit with merciless winter weather? When you can see it from space. Video captured by the orbiting International Space Station follows a frozen landscape along Lake Erie, starting with Cleveland, Ohio, continuing past Buffalo, New York, and into parts of Canada. The video seems to go on forever, showcasing seemingly endless, snow-socked stretches that fuel daydreams of warmer places. Yeah. Which leads us to this final zen-like moment captured in the waters off sunny Hawaii. After spotting a waterspout from an Oahu beach, photog Jacob Vanderveld launched his drone and captured a rare look at a dolphin and a whale enjoying a playful swim together in the ocean. Man, I wish I was a dolphin. Did I say that out loud? For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Seems like those dolphins are always so playful, aren't they?
Yes, and very intelligent.
And I love that dog rescue.
Yes.
That burning car.
Incredible. John, can you top all of that?
No, I can't. But I'll still tell you what the weather's going to be like anyway. Clear skies outside tonight. We'll be down to 18 degrees at 8, down to 14 by 10. We will see temperatures early tomorrow morning, anywhere from 9 degrees to as much as maybe 17 out towards Grand Island. By the way, if you do want to go out and see the space station this evening, grab the kids, go outside and look up. It'll be visible for 7 minutes starting at 6:17. Enters the northwest sky and exits off to the east-southeast. I will say 7 minutes is one of the longer times you'll see a space station. And get out and enjoy it, but also make sure you bundle up if you're going to go out and do that.
All right, thank you, John, and thank you all for joining us.
World News here on ABC is next. We'll see you back here at 6 o'clock.
With the Channel 8 Eyewitness News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
At Comfort Made Mattress Factory, we build each mattress specifically for you right here in our locally owned store. We can even make his side different than hers, backed by our lifetime comfort guarantee.
Closed captioning on Channel 8 Eyewitness News is brought to you by Christensen